What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Task Force Z. This will be issue number 3. And if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Red Hood and his new zombie suicide squad. Because that is exactly what has been happening, with an individual by the name of Crispin saying they are working for some kind of government agency, injecting them with Lazarus resin. This brings them back to life. Only if you're not given enough resin, you could very easily start to slip into a zombie state and start eating everyone around you. And at the ending of the last issue, what we saw was the return of Deadshot, and as soon as he wakes up, he gives a round to the stomach of Red Hood. And so with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up at the Chop Shop. And right now, they are working hard to get him back alive, to bring Red Hood back to the living. Because right now, he is slowly dying. Taking that gunshot wound, not looking good for Jason in the slightest bit. This is when he flatlines. With Jason flatlining, they did everything they could to try to save his life. But now that he is dead, it's time for the quick fix. And that quick fix is injecting his brain with Lazarus resin. Now, if you're given enough of this stuff, it's essentially like you never died. But the only thing about that is that Crispin and this Task Force Z, what they have been doing is only giving small amounts to these guys. So much so, they're doing it in pill form. This is enough to keep them functional, to keep them operational, but not enough to where they stay alive forever. They continue to need this medicine. Now, he wakes up in a complete panic, knowing that Deadshot had shot him. Not sure if he had died or was alive, what's going on. He doesn't know which way is even up at this point. Asking them if they injected him with the Lazarus resin. Of course, they're denying this because right now he is already in a state of absolute panic. And so with him passing out, we pick up a little bit later with an individual walking into the room of Jason Todd. Not sure who it is, Jason immediately goes into defense, grabbing a needle in his arm and jabbing it into the neck of Deadshot. And that's because he believed that Deadshot was in zombie mode. Believing that he came to eat his brains, he was doing everything he can to ensure that doesn't happen. But Deadshot, he is coherent enough to understand what is going on, and he pauses for a moment. Even though he's got a needle in his neck, he tells him like, wait a second, I'll turn into a zombie? I'll start eating people's brains? Like, that's an option on the table. But quickly moving past that, he has to ask Jason, what is going on? What happened? Why am I here? And he really does lay it out for Deadshot, letting him know that you were dead. They brought you back to life using Lazarus resin. This is your opportunity to work for a quote-unquote suicide squad. And that if you work for this team long enough, they will grant you the ability to stay alive, not necessarily forever, but bring you back to where you don't need the Lazarus resin anymore. They will give you enough of it to sustain you until you have natural death or you die again, whatever the case may be. And he also divulges about Crispin, this mystery individual that has been behind the curtain the entire time, pulling all of the strings. And Jason, he does apologize to Deadshot. He feels a little bit responsible because he recommended him for this team. The only thing is Cobra Colt had gotten to him first. Trying to apologize, Deadshot, he doesn't care to hear it, because at the end of the day, no matter how much he says he's sorry, he can pretend like he cares and like this affects him, but it really doesn't. Jason wanted a team, and that's exactly what he got. With us picking up an hour later and Jason feeling tremendously better, looking like his regular self, going up the facility, this is when he runs in to the Sundowner, aka Hannah. And with all of the chaos that has been going on, she thought it was great to take him out. She snuck a pass so they were able to get out the front doors, and they're gonna go out and they're gonna get some pizza. Heading out to the pizza parlor, this is really just an opportunity to give Jason Todd that breath of fresh air he needs. After everything that has been going on, almost getting eaten by his team, the team failing on multiple occasions, he needs some kind of win. He needs something here. And so why not take him out to pizza, get his mind off of things? And they sit down and they talk about everything, about all of the failures going on, how everything has been so messed up. But Hannah really does believe in Crispin, saying that she has even met him once. He may be a little off in some ways, but she says at the end of the day, he truly does believe in second chances, in giving people the opportunity to come back from the brink. And for Jason, this is him trying something new, working with the Bat family, doing everything he has always done, coming back to life. All of the craziness that he has experienced, he doesn't really know what he stands for anymore. He knows he has put down the guns, but he has hurt a lot of people. He has murdered people, he's killed people. Not only that, you put him on a team where people might eat you. To add even further insult to injury, you're adding Bane to the team, the one who is responsible for Alfred Pennyworth's death. Hannah letting Jason know that maybe he just needs to forgive himself. Maybe he needs to find it deep down inside and just forgive all of the bad things he has done and try to seek that redemption. With him being done with the conversation, they head back inside, and this is when Crispin wants to sit down and have a talk with him. With them sneaking out of the facility, he is not happy right now. And so him going into the conference room, he talks to the projector, the shadow man, letting him know that the next time he wants to go out and take one of the team members, he better never come back. But since he is here, he is letting him know of the next mission. And before this mission can kick off, Jason, he really has to give him a piece of his mind, letting him know that this doesn't seem like a government agency. What this looks like is a pharmaceutical company going to war, taking out the competition. It appears that somebody else has found out about this Lazarus resin, and because of that, you now have competitors. And so you have Task Force Z to take out the competition. Of course, Crispin tries to defend himself in saying that the government has sanctioned this mission to keep this out of the hands of criminals. And that's a bit ironic considering they are injecting criminals with it to go fight this. And so setting down some new laws, setting down some new regulations he wants put in place. He wants to ensure that everyone on his team is getting the sufficient amount of Lazarus resin to ensure that they do not turn into zombies mid-mission. And behind the scenes, it looks like this was all a ploy from Crispin, Hannah, and the rest of them. An attempt to try to get Jason back on board. And her little pep talk taking him out for pizza, that's exactly what helped push him back onto the team. Coming in here with a new fury, ready to tackle the missions again. Jason is feeling like he is in control, but the reality is they are playing him, and they have no issue giving these guys a little bit more Lazarus resin. But with our team now headed out, we pick up in Old Gotham at the GNN Tower. And with them coming in to grab this Lazarus resin, they find themselves completely surrounded by Cobra Cult. And with all of them about to attack Jason, this is when we see the deployment of Task Force Z. Recognizing a good amount of these guys have already died and they've been using Lazarus resin, that takes the handcuffs off and they can start smashing some skulls. And so with Bane ripping people in half, with our team going straight mayhem, they are quickly taken down. With them breathing something in, not sure what is going on, Jason believing the Lazarus resin is not lasting and that they are turning into zombies. That is not the case, because the real culprit is Cheshire. With her coming in and trying to kick some butt, she is letting Jason Todd know that she has been tasked and hired with protecting this shipment, and that means protecting it from Task Force Z. With the entire team going down, the only one still standing being Jason, and that is due to his suit and his new mask. But he tries his best to fight her off. With him being slower because of his armor, he is at a disadvantage. Recognizing that this might go sideways for him, with him bleeding out, he goes to take some Lazarus pills, and she stops him, knocking them out of his hand. The fight continues on with the pills landing on Bane. Now, of course, she believes she has the upper hand on Jason, about ready to kick him over the edge or end his life. That is when Bane rises up. With some of the pills falling into his mouth, it was able to rejuvenate his body, and now he is back into the fight. But this is no longer a fight. This is a smashing, and we see Bane just crush her under his hands. With her being taken down, Bane turns to Jason and actually thanks him because he was informed that it was under Jason's command that Bane and the other individuals were given more Lazarus resin, which gave them more cognitive ability. With him saying thank you, Jason asked the question, is it really you in there? Asking if he has his memories, if he remembers everything that happened. With his memories coming back, we see Jason take his crowbar and smash Bane on the back of the head, asking him, do you know why? Do you know why I am doing this? With Bane saying yes, Jason asks him, tell me why. Tell me why I am about to do this. His only words are Alfred Pennyworth. And we see Jason kick him straight off this building, with him reporting back in saying that the team has gone down and that Bane is gone. Picking up hours later across town, we have Crispin getting back to the office, with him getting in communication with his team, quickly realizing that his team has not checked in. Jason Todd has not gone back to the chop shop, with them losing complete location of where he is. He is in the office of Crispin, and he is ready to have a conversation with Two-Face. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I have thoroughly been enjoying this line. It is a little bit different, it's a little bit odd. They really have created a kind of immortality, if you will. And we're seeing that this Lazarus resin, it is getting spread around like hotcakes. Now, we know Amanda Waller has been messing with this program for quite some time. What we didn't know is Two-Face. We assumed that it was Amanda Waller, someone like that, pulling the strings the entire time. And it very well still could be something of that manner. But right now, it looks like Two-Face has been playing Jason Todd the entire time. Unless Two-Face is actually working for the government now as a good guy trying to do whatever espionage they're trying to do. Or he very well could be working for the corporate aspect. He could be working for corporate organizations trying to take down competitors, exactly like Jason had said. But with only 3 issues in, this really does have a lot of potential. It can go in a lot of different directions, and we're seeing a good character arc for Jason Todd. Him trying to move on with his whole life, moving away from guns, moving away from the Bat family, moving away from the Red Hood. Even though he still technically wears it every time he goes out, he's trying to find out who he is. He's trying to reinvent himself into something that he can really look at in the mirror every single day and not feel ashamed of himself. But I think we can all agree that what he did to Bane was 100% in the right. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor. Hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.